Welcome, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and clicking on this video. And if you're tuning in via the podcast, welcome. My name is Kamoy, and I am your host here at For Your Inner Voice. First of all, I just want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time either to tune in via the podcast or tuning in via YouTube. We're doing a daily vibration for December 21st, 2019, which is vibrating on the same frequency as December 12/12. 2019. Okay, so we're vibrating on the number 9 today, and I felt led today not to really get a whole bunch of different vibrational frequencies of the number 9. I felt led to just pull out a few of them so we can really tackle things because the end of the year is coming to a close. Okay, now before we jump into today's vibration, I do want to remind you guys that I go live on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for those of you that joined us last night, my shout out. We always have a lot of fun on the live, so thank you guys for the love and for the support. Okay, also these daily vibrations do go up, okay, every day at 12:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, not just here on YouTube, but also here on my podcast. So you guys can check out either via streaming on any of the podcast links in the description box below on YouTube or any of your major streaming apps. You can find me. Okay, now you can find me on the podcast at the number 4 Your Inner Voice. Okay, now my love, so let's talk about the vibration for today. We're vibrating on the number 9. Now before we jump into that, I just want to remind you guys that energy is fluid. I do not put dates in these captions because whenever you click on this video, if it resonates, it is for you. If it doesn't, then you can just take what you need and leave what you don't. Okay, now with that being said, intuition is key all day, every day. And we talk about intuition all of the time because your intuition is your own inner guide and your own inner compass that you can tap into. Okay. Now, when we talk about your guides, when we talk about your ancestors, when we talk about your higher self, these all also dwell within you. Okay. So your ancestors dwell within you, your guides dwells within you, your higher self dwells within you. So that's all of your intuitive nature. Okay. We're talking about your Akashic records. We're talking about the Akashic field. Okay, so just be mindful that there are many makeups and many components to your intuitive nature. You would have to take the time to individually find out how that part of yourself communicates with you. Okay, now how do I best explain your intuition to you? Because we talk about intuition every day in these dailies. So this is a test for you to understand when you've tapped into your higher self or to your intuition. Have you ever had an example, and I use this all of the time because it's the most simple example there is. Have you ever had an example that let's say that you misplaced your keys in the house? And you're steady looking around, but there's this voice that keeps telling you, look on the kitchen counter, and move the bag on the kitchen counter. Your keys is there. But you go and you search the car, you go and you search the drawer, you go and search your bathroom, you search your bedroom, but you still don't go to where the voice tells you to go. And maybe after frustrating yourself for a few minutes, you finally decide to go and do exactly what this voice in your head, tells you to do, and boom, there the keys are. Okay. Now let me give you another example. It's a simple example of driving and being told, okay, make a right, okay, which you would normally make a left, but instead of listening to that intuitive nature that said make a right, you make your left like you normally do, and you run into traffic, okay, which then have you to be late because then they have blocked up with cars that you can't pass right away. So with that being said, at that point you say to yourself, dang, I should have paid attention to my voice when it said to turn right. So that is how you know that you're starting to connect with your intuition. It is that part of you that's always going to guide you, and it's going to guide you subtly, and it's not going to guide you towards destruction. So if you're hearing destructive thoughts, or you're hearing thoughts that's not for your higher good or for your higher purpose or for your higher self, you will know that that ain't your intuition. Okay, you can be tapping into other people's energy, or you can archons, just there's so many things being projected to you on a daily basis that you can just be tapping into any frequency, but your higher self is always going to bring you positivity. It's always going to bring you realness. And sometimes the realness is not what you may want to hear, but it's what's needed. Okay. So just keep that in mind. So vibrating on the number 9 today, like I said, intuition, which is going to be important for you to learn how to tap into that. Okay. And we're going to get into why. Okay. Because we're closing out 2019, right? Now, with that being said, cause and effect is in the atmosphere today. So we're talking about the law of karma. Okay. Not only is completion here, okay, because we're vibrated in the number 9, but we're also talking about cause and effect. And then we're talking about responsibilities in the air today. And if I can really be honest with you guys, I remember years ago just being in meditation with Spirit and hearing Spirit say that we're going to be stepping into a time of responsibility where the law of responsibility is going to be key. So we have intuition, we have completion, we have cause and effect, and we have responsibility popping up in the higher vibrational frequencies for the number 9 today, right? Now, cause and effect has to understand with every cause there is an effect. So every time you take a step forward, that is going to produce an effect. Okay, so let's just say your hands are dirty. Washing your hands with water and soap is going to produce the effect, right, of clean hands. Now, what was the cause of the clean hands? Okay, the cause of the what was the cause of the dirty hands to begin with? What was the cause of you needing to wash your hands? Let's just put it as simple as that. Why did you need to wash your hands? You could have been gardening, you could have been cleaning, you could have been doing a whole stream list of things that would have produced dirty hands that you then needed to wash. So before the effect would be washing your hands, but the cause would be linked to whatever got your hands dirty in the first place. So as we're moving towards this 2020 energy, you need to start paying attention to the causes in your life, or the causalities, or I don't even know if I said that word properly. However, you need to pay attention to the causes, okay, or the action that you take in your life, because each action is going to produce an effect, okay? So the law of responsibility, which basically means you're going to have to take control of your 4 elements. And we're going to get into the 4 elements today. But you're going to have to take control of the 4 elements. You're going to have to take control of your physical realm. You're going to have to take control of the realm where you do need to take action when necessary. You're going to have to be mindful to take control of your emotions, and be mindful to take control of your spiritual and your mental thinking, okay? So now, the lower vibrational end of what you need to pay attention to today is if something is popping up for completion, right? The opposite of the opposite of not completing something is incompletion, right? Like something is incomplete, all right? So that will be a repeat of a cycle, all right? So, and this stuff is real. Just understand, because this plays out not just on a macro level, a grander scale in your life, but it also plays out on a smaller scale in your life. There can also be an energy of feeling disconnected today, okay? So be mindful of that, all right? Now, we've been talking about the sun's energy this week, and how the sun's energy is really the life giver, or the intention setter, or the life force energy that you project outwardly for the world to see. And we talked about also the sun being the one to give to the moon, aka your emotions, okay? And we talked about the sun being that masculine energy, that logical side of you, right? And the moon being the feminine energy, that more, softer side of you, okay? The more creative side of you, okay? So if you have the initiator, or the intention giver, or the life giver, right? Giving life to the womb, the creator, because we talked about emotions creating things on this 3rd dimensional realm. I just want to keep reminding you, what is your sun shining towards the world, or towards your, towards your inner world? What is your sun shining towards your moon? What is your sun? What is your life force? What is your intent shining towards your emotions? Okay. Is it humility versus arrogance? So you shine in humility, the positive, higher vibrational end of it, or arrogance, right? Now, what does that mean? What does it mean to be humble to you? What does it mean to be humble? When you understand humility, you don't have to step in others to get what you want, okay? Or you operating in arrogance, right? Okay? Or you operating in integrity versus doing fuckery, where you have no pride, where it's just prideful energy, just pure pride, right? Integrity versus pride. Is your intention to operate with integrity, or are you prideful? Okay, is your sun shining in an integrity vibe, an integrity frequency, or is it shining a prideful frequency, right? Is your sun shining being able to delegate versus stepping on someone? Okay, so remember, we're dealing with polarities, right? So there's always going to be a giver and a receiver. And when the moon energy receives the intent or receives the life force energy that you're giving it, it then creates from that aspect. Okay, so if you're giving yourself prideful energy, if you're giving life force energy to your emotions of prideful energy, what do you think you're going to produce in your life? You're going to produce situations where pride is what you see. Prideful experiences is what you see. You're going to reflect back to you what your sun is shining. Please understand that. Okay, this is how this works. Okay, we've been talking about this week that your heart chakra is governed by your moon and your sun energy. Okay, so what is your sun shining to your moon? What is your sun energy, aka what intentions are you giving to your subconscious mind? Okay, now with that being said, let's jump into this energy. Okay, so we're going to start off with definitely my fire signs, because we're still in Sagittarius season. Okay, now, so for fire signs, we're talking about my wonderful Capricorns, my Taurus, as well as my Virgos. Okay, you guys have the eclipse in Sagittarius energy, which is all about growth, my wonderful fire signs. Now remember, the fire signs, you guys are all about taking action. All right, the fire energy represents being able to take action. It's movement. Okay, now you guys have the eclipse in Sagittarius, which means it's all about growth today. Okay, it's about being able to move towards success after your setbacks, being able to go back and take the mistakes, right? So you're gonna literally flop the word mistake around. You're gonna go back and take what you missed. Okay, now let's jump into my wonderful water signs. Okay, so for my wonderful water signs today, you guys have the eclipse in Aquarius energy, which is all about awakening energy. And this is not a surprise to me, because literally we are tapping into the number 9 frequency today. We're vibrating on the number 9, so we're completing things right now with this eclipse in Aquarius. This is all about a deeper awakening part of yourself, really tapping into yourself to feel exactly where you are and what adjustments you may need to move towards, or to accept, okay, or to release. Right, this is where your deeper self and the deeper resolves come up. Right, we do have that new moon coming in on the 26th, so be open to that. Okay, and then I think what I'm going to do with this new moon, I'm going to work with the shadow side of the new moon. Okay, and I'm going to explain that energy to you. And I think I am also probably going to do maybe like a private link. I'll let you guys know more about that. Because this is really powerful energy coming in, and I'm ready to set my intentions and move forward. Okay, so water signs, we're talking about my Scorpios, my Pisces, as well as my Cancers. So you have the eclipse in Aquarius, awakening today, a deeper sense of self today, a deeper sense of resolve today, like clearing out emotional clutter today, my wonderful water signs. Okay, my air signs, and air signs represents Geminis, Libras, and Aquarius energy. Okay, air signs also represents your thinking from your spiritual aspect and your mental aspect. You guys have the sun in Scorpio energy today, so you guys can definitely be having a lot of passion and intense energy on your mind today. Really, maybe even feeling like this is, a very mysterious place for you, because you're all in your head. Maybe can't quite see how everything is going to come together yet, but you could feel it, because we got the water energy in Aquarius. So there could be a knowing. You probably can't quite explain it yet, my wonderful air signs, but there is definitely passionate energy in the atmosphere for you today. Okay, now with the Scorpio energy, it's a very deep and intense energy, so a lot of you could be in your head today, especially about maybe taking responsibility for things, or completing things, or just paying attention to this cause and effect energy that we talked about. Okay, now we do have the sun in Aquarius energy also, which is about new beginnings, and the sun in Aquarius energy, which is new beginnings, is for the earth signs. So earth signs, we are talking about my We're talking about my Capricorns. We are talking about my Virgos and my Tauruses, okay? Now, with that being said, new beginnings. We've been feeling this new energy coming in earth signs, and this is going to probably play out maybe even in your physical realm for some of you, okay? Now, air signs, you could see this new beginnings playing out in your thinking. Water signs, you can feel this new beginnings maybe in your feelings. And fire signs, maybe you can feel this new beginnings energy coming in your wanting to take action and movement. But just keep in mind this new beginnings energy can play out for the earth signs in your physical realm. But also be mindful, earth signs, that it can play out in any part of these areas for you also. Okay, any part of these areas, it can play out in your emotions, it can play out in your thinking, it can play out in your movement. So I want you guys to be mindful that you have 4 elements that you need to work with, not just the one element of your sun sign that you were born under. It doesn't work like that. You need to master all 4 elements, which will be mastering your whole complete body, your temple, which will be mastering the planetary system within you. Okay, now with that being said, my loves, I want to once again just thank you guys so much for being able to click in on this video if you're tuning in via YouTube, or clicking on this episode if you're streaming in via podcast. If you guys would like to go ahead and check me out, you can check me out on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. I do live, and we get into the queue, answer questions from the queue, from the chat, so you guys can join us there. If you guys are interested in scheduling a coaching session / intuitive reader session with me, we do have the monthly special going on for a $50 donation, where you guys can have a consultation with me, and you can make that donation to the number 4 your inner voice at gmail.com via PayPal. The same way my channel is spelled, it's the same way my PayPal is spelled at gmail.com. Or you guys can cash at me at $KIMOY106. Okay, all right, my loves, love you guys much, and I will see you guys in your next daily vibration tomorrow. Bye, my loves.